Episode 4 of I Want to Love You Till Your Dying Day shifts away from the battlefield and instead explores the emotional cost of the world these children live in. While there is very little action, the episode quietly delivers some of the series' biggest revelations, especially regarding resurrection magic and Mimi's mysterious existence. More importantly, it shows that sometimes the greatest act of love is not changing someone's fate, but simply making their life a little brighter. The episode begins immediately after Mimi shares her biggest secret with Sheena. Naturally, Sheena wants to understand exactly what Mimi means. However, Mimi herself struggles to explain it. Rather than giving clear answers, she becomes distracted by the flowers surrounding them, reminding viewers once again that despite everything she has experienced, she still possesses an innocent childlike heart. Unfortunately, they are not alone. Unknown to either girl, Omi secretly overhears their entire conversation. Instead of confronting them directly, she chooses a far more subtle approach. During her next lesson, she begins teaching the class about resurrection magic. At first, the lesson sounds like ordinary classroom education. Then Omi asks Sheena a simple but important question. Why is resurrection magic forbidden? Sheena gives the obvious answer. She believes making someone live forever is simply too cruel. Although her response is understandable, Omi explains that the truth is even darker. Immortality never comes without a price. For one person to live forever, another person must sacrifice their own life. That revelation completely changes how viewers understand Mimi's existence. The series has hinted from the beginning that something unusual surrounds her. Now it becomes clear that resurrection magic is built upon loss rather than miracles. Life cannot simply be created. It must always be exchanged for another. That cruel balance perfectly reflects the world the children live in, where survival constantly demands sacrifice. Following the lesson, Omi tells Fran that Mimi has revealed classified information to Sheena. Surprisingly, Fran barely reacts. Rather than panicking, she calmly replies that she will handle the situation herself. Her relaxed attitude immediately raises suspicion. Instead of appearing surprised, Fran almost behaves as though she expected this to happen all along. Meanwhile, Sheena refuses to ignore everything she has learned. Together with Mimi, she begins researching resurrection magic inside the library. Their investigation quickly attracts the attention of Ollie and Siren. The two girls immediately suspect that the research is connected to the strange rumors surrounding Mimi. Although nobody openly says it, everyone senses that Mimi is somehow different from the other students. Before the conversation can continue, both girls receive a sudden announcement ordering them to report to the infirmary. For Sheena, the message is terrifying. After everything she has experienced, she instinctively fears they are being sent into another deadly battle. Mimi, however, remains perfectly calm. Her reaction highlights how differently the two girls now face danger. Inside the infirmary, Fran speaks privately with Sheena. She confirms that Mimi's secret is genuine, but makes one thing absolutely clear. The information is classified. Sheena must never tell anyone else. The warning is serious, but it also demonstrates the trust Fran has placed in her. Rather than erasing Sheena's memories or punishing her, Fran simply asks her to protect Mimi. Later, the story shifts toward the adults responsible for running both the school and the war effort. Fran and Omi attend an important meeting where military leaders express growing concern about recent events. The enemy's attacks have become increasingly dangerous. Some also question Fran's decision to allow Mimi to attend ordinary classes. Considering how valuable she appears to be, many believe exposing her to everyday school life is unnecessarily risky. Fran refuses to change her approach. She quietly dismisses every concern. Omi, however, is not convinced. After the meeting, she privately questions Fran. She even suggests that perhaps Fran deliberately allowed Mimi to reveal her secret to Sheena. Fran refuses to confirm or deny the accusation. Her silence speaks volumes. Whether she planned everything or not remains uncertain, but it is obvious she is carefully guiding events behind the scenes. The emotional burden carried by Omi becomes increasingly visible throughout the episode. When she returns to her room, memories of Sheena's previous roommate begin resurfacing. The student died before Mimi ever entered Sheena's life. Those painful memories explain why Omi has become such a strict instructor. She has watched too many children die. Rather than becoming emotionally detached, she has chosen to become tougher in the hope that more students might survive. The following day, Omi makes the training exercises even more difficult by strengthening the mock enemies. Some students may view her methods as harsh. In reality, every difficult lesson is another attempt to prepare them for the brutal battlefield waiting beyond the school walls. At the same time, Sheena experiences her own emotional breakthrough. While gently trying to wake Mimi in the morning, she quietly reflects on everything that has happened. She cannot replace the sacrifice connected to resurrection magic. She cannot remove Mimi's burden. She cannot change the cruel rules of the world. For a moment, she feels powerless. Later, Ollie and Siren introduce both girls to Gratitude Day, an annual tradition where students clean the school to express appreciation for everything it provides. The celebration offers a brief moment of peace before another thoughtful conversation unfolds. As Ollie and Siren watch the sunset together, they begin discussing romantic magic. Eventually, the conversation turns toward resurrection. Siren quietly calls resurrection magic romantic. Her reasoning is heartbreaking. Giving your own life so someone you love can continue living sounds like the ultimate expression of devotion. She then asks Ollie an impossible question. Would you resurrect me if I died? Ollie cannot answer. Instead, she asks exactly the same question in return. Neither girl can honestly say yes. Neither can say no. Eventually, they decide to stop imagining painful possibilities altogether. The conversation perfectly captures one of the episode's biggest themes. Love may inspire sacrifice. That does not automatically make sacrifice the right choice. The emotional highlight of the episode arrives during the final scenes. Sheena takes Mimi to a beautiful field filled with daisies. Away from war, classrooms, secrets, and fear, the two girls simply spend time together. Sheena carefully weaves flowers into a crown and gently places it on Mimi's head. Mimi's joyful reaction becomes one of the happiest moments in the entire series so far. Watching her smile, Sheena asks a simple question. Is she happy? Without hesitation, Mimi happily answers yes. That answer completely changes Sheena's perspective. Until now, she believed she needed to solve every problem surrounding Mimi. She wanted to remove her suffering completely. Now she realizes something much simpler. She may not be able to change Mimi's destiny. She may never fully understand resurrection magic. She may never stop the war by herself. But she can make Mimi smile. She can create moments of happiness. She can fill whatever time they have together with kindness instead of sadness. That quiet realization becomes the true ending of episode 4. Rather than searching for impossible miracles, Sheena discovers that genuine compassion often comes through ordinary acts of care. A flower crown, a peaceful afternoon, a sincere conversation. Those small moments become precious inside a world built around violence and sacrifice. Overall, I Want to Love You Till Your Dying Day episode 4 delivers one of the series' most emotional chapters without relying on major battles or shocking twists. Instead, it expands the mystery surrounding resurrection magic, raises new questions about Fran's true intentions, explores Omi's emotional struggles, and strengthens the bond between Sheena and Mimi. The ending leaves viewers with a bittersweet but hopeful message. Even in a world where death, sacrifice, and war seem unavoidable, kindness still has the power to change someone's life. Sheena cannot rewrite Mimi's fate, but by choosing to fill her days with happiness instead of fear, she begins giving her friends something just as valuable as another chance at life.